What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. So, in this video today, we're going to talk about the new kind of nominee that is making the headlines right now for the ambassador of Malaysia. And I know this seems probably kind of silly to talk about, but what I want to talk about is not really so much about him, although we're already going to discuss him. But it's going to the broader point around the whole idea that has kind of been the Trump administration argument for merit, right? And how, when dealing with trying to shut down or close, firing people or closing agencies, or when talking about how with the DEI stuff, things like that, and it all being based around, we want America to get back to a merit system. And it just begs the question, looking at people that Trump has put up as nominees, who people that have been, have become members of the cabinet, or other ambassadors and stuff like that. You have to start looking at them and questioning, is the rhetoric matching the actual action of the Trump administration? Does Trump himself nominate and place people in positions based on merit? So we are here. Let's swap over, talk real quick. Okay, this is out of Politico. Trump nominees alpha male MAGA firebrand to serve as ambassador to Malaysia. All right. Donald Trump's pick to be the best ambassador to Malaysia is a self-described alpha male, steak-loving Australian American commentator, perhaps best known for his loyalty to the Hooters restaurant chain. Okay. And I'm going to be honest, I have no clue. I did not know who this guy was until I started to look up this stuff. And it's like, okay. Nick Adams rose to prominence in 2016 after Trump tweeted that his book, Green Card Warrior, My Quest for Legal Immigration in a Illegals System, was a must-read. His nomination to the diplomatic post is sent to the Senate on Wednesday. He has since published 6 books, naming Joe Biden the most dangerous president in history, and lionizing Trump and Winston Churchill as defenders of Western civilization. Trump penned the foreword for Adams' 2024 book, Alpha Kings, which tells young men how to be a true alpha male. So Trump penned the foreword for a book called Alpha Kings, which tells young men how to be a true alpha male. That's crazy. Adams, born in Australia, served in local government before being formally condemned by his colleagues and threatened with suspension from the Liberal Party for conduct likely to embarrass or cause damage to the reputation of the party. He became an American citizen in 2021 and is a prominent poster in the online manosphere. American citizen in 2020. He's been an American citizen for 4 years. American citizen for 4 years. It is nothing short of a lifetime's honor to take President's goodwill and spread it to the great people of Malaysia. Adams did in a video post, which I watched. It was like a 3-minute video. It's just fawning all it is. Adam has tweeted about Hooters over 500 times in the last 4 years. It's like 120 times. 120 times a year. So every other day. um, calling it a great American institution and repeatedly calling on parents to take their children to the racy restaurant chain in furtherance of raising alpha males. So I'm assuming like taking their male children to the chain in furtherance in raising alpha males. So male children go to a chain that promotes servers with, that are voluptuous, let's just say, for the most part. Or just, basically pushing the female figure as, and that's to help raise alpha males. Okay, that's interesting. This isn't the first time he's been nominated by the president. Trump nominated Adams to serve on the board of the congressionally chartered Woodrow Wilson Center in 2020, which he remains a member of. In huh, he was nominated in 2020, but yet he became a citizen in 2021. Doesn't make much sense. I have to look further in that one. In a Thursday afternoon social media post, Trump called Adams an incredible patriot and very successful entrepreneur whose love of and devotion to our great country is an inspiration. He said that Adams has made it his life mission to extol the virtues of American greatness by being an alpha male, I guess. The conservative commentator has appeared on Fox News several times to discuss issues as immigration and political correctness. An immigrant, he himself is an immigrant, right? His nonprofit Foundation of Liberty and American Greatness promotes educating children and American exceptionalism. If confirmed, Adams would succeed Edgar Kagan, a career diplomat nominated by Biden in the post to the post in May of 2023. And I looked into Edgar Keegan too, and he is a like astute diplomat. He has years of experience, like working alongside him in multiple countries, leaders. He has, he's fluent in like 4 or 5 different languages. I mean, this guy is the epitome of merit. Okay. Um. Yet Trump is trying to replace him with an influencer. This guy, who is a self-proclaimed alpha male and has no experience whatsoever in diplomatic situations. Whatsoever. Now, granted, he still has to go through the confirmation process of the Senate and all that kind of stuff. It's not like he is immediately going to become an ambassador. There's a very good chance that he winds up getting, pushed out or whatnot, whatever. Maybe this is just some sort of like it's just, let me like, just go off here on why Trump would just throw his name in the basket. Like maybe there's some kind of like, hey, if you'll do this for me, I will put you, like a, give thing. I'll put you up for this. It's up to you to get the position, but whatever. Okay, let's just say that's the case. But still, even then, to even humor the fact of somebody like this, and then why Malaysia? You've got somebody in that position that is perfectly adequate, perfectly able to manage that position. You have loads of vacancies for other countries if you wanted to test this guy out as being a diplomat. You have loads of vacancies for that you could place him in any country just to test him out, even if it's a minor country that has nothing to do with anything. And well, I mean, you might can even argue that Malaysia may not be a major ass country or area, but it has some its significance. So we do much more stuff with Malaysia than we do with a lot of other countries. So I mean, why? When you've got somebody perfectly outside of the fact that it was a Biden appointed person, is the only thing I can think. And that unless there's something that Trump specifically wants with Malaysia, like has an idea or somebody in his administration wants with Malaysia, and he feels that someone like Hagen would not see it through or not like comply or whatever, and he wants somebody that will do exactly what he asked him to do, will do whatever he wants him to do, will go along with the Donald Trump agenda or the MAGA agenda or whatever. But there again, what does that have to do with merit? What does that have to do with merit? And when you start looking at several other positions that have been brought into question. I mean, Hickseth himself was questionable merit, to be over the Pentagon. I mean, RFK over health. The McKinnon or whatever. What's her name? That was CEO of the WWE over Secretary of Education. Like, she has no. I mean, outside of being a part of a educational council for a year, how does that merit her the experience to be over this as Secretary of Education of the entire fucking country? I mean, there's when you start breaking down and looking at Noam for the Secretary for Homeland Security, Homeland Security. I mean, like, these people are not being placed in positions based on merit. They're being placed in positions because they are full on loyalists. It has nothing to do with their qualifications or the fact that they have loads of experience, years of experience, or anything to do with any position that they're being placed in. It's solely about loyalty. It's solely about doing whatever Trump wants and his agenda, or whatever the MAGA wants and their agenda, and the people that are influencing Trump within the administration, or what. Like, it's all it's about. It has absolutely nothing to do with merit. So when the Trump administration and Trump acts like, when it comes to like the DEI stuff or whatever, and how we're going to get back America to actually putting people in place and hiring people for positions that have merit, and it has nothing to do with their skin color or their gender or age or whatever the case. I mean, it has nothing to do with any of that. We want to make sure that we're putting people in place that are educated and know what they're being put there for. Like, they're a merit system. Ugh, they're merited. But yet, when you start looking at every position, you have to bring into question, does this administration reflect that argument of merit? Or is it more just, you scratch mine, I scratch yours, loyalty, favoritism, the kind of bullshit that we see in our own workplaces a lot sometimes. We get mad at our bosses over favoring this person, favoring that person, you know, giving this position to this person, even though we know that they aren't good enough for it. Like, this is the works of just a regular old boss that just wants loyalty, that just wants somebody to to praise them or to do exactly what they say without question. Has absolutely nothing to do with merit. Has absolutely nothing to do with qualifications or how much experience you have or anything like that. So how can we, again, this goes into everything else that I talk about oftentimes on here about understand, like, believing in the integrity of this man as president and his administration and the people in power and the people in place. When you say that you believe things that they say and that you have faith in what they are saying, that you trust in what they are saying, yet everything they're saying versus the actions that they put in place aren't exactly matching up. How much, how far, how many times do you have to apologize? How many times you have to make up excuses? How many times you have to say, well, I mean, he means well. While they're constantly, the man wants a Nobel Peace Prize, but yet he is constantly trying to, from even from his first term to now, doing coups in different countries, bombing different countries, allowing Israel to commit a genocide. I mean, all these different things in this big beautiful bill, taking away your health care, taking away Medicaid, taking away food and SNAP benefits. I mean, making ICE turning this place into a questionable police state, detaining and putting people in what seems to be concentration camps like the Alligator Alcatraz and other stuff that are being not that are their plans for their more to be built all across the United States. I mean, what more does it take? What more does it take for you to realize man's not in your best interest? He's putting people in place that are not in this merit, that are not merited, are not qualified. They're there solely to do his bidding, or solely to do the bidding of the MAGA agenda. And if you're cool with that, if you're cool with putting people in place that have absolutely no qualifications whatsoever to do their positions, fine. But don't start arguing over some DEI supposed thing here or there within your own workplace or a friend's workplace or something you see on the news or whatever the case. I mean, for a college campus or whatever. Like, no, you have no right to argue. You have no right to complain. You have no right to act like that is actually something you're concerned about when you're not concerned about the man that you are defending to the edge of the cliff for something that he himself and his administration are not practicing as they preach. So let me know in your thoughts what you think, in the comments what you think, rather. And yeah, the next time, peace. ClearTalk, I'm out.